Hello everyone. So this is going to be the extended monthly tarot reading for Aries for October 2018, and the first spread that we're going to take a look at, this is going to be for career. And the cards that we do have for your career for Aries, this is going to be the World card, followed by the Seven of Cups. Then the next one is going to be the Nine of Swords, and the last card regarding career, that is going to be the Magician. So having to say, Aries are going to have a rather very productive month when we're talking about their career unfoldment. Here with the World card, this is a clear sign of that is going to be the topic of your month regarding career. So we're talking about completion and setting things into order and finalizing a bunch of projects, activities and undertakings. The World card is also associated, as I like to say, with with finding new directions as well. You know, one thing is completed and then you have to straight for the next thing that follows, and therefore this will be rather like the primal subject of your career throughout the month. Now, while you are completing and finalizing your current undertakings and you are settling down, you know, your responsibilities, etc., etc., what will have to happen next? I mean, what will be the next course of action regarding your career path, regarding your job, and in general regarding, you know, your Aries' standpoint. Now, for some people which are having private business, you know, that could be a new initiation into rather varieties of new services that they may offer. For others, that could be, you know, a chase of a more lucrative enterprise regarding their career. But what will be the issue here lies within the Seven of Cups, because this card sits into a negative position. It sits into what kind of like holds you back from being capable to exert all you have. And that card points that for some reason, guys, you may kind of go ahead of yourself, because the Seven of Cups is associated with unrealistic goals. It's associated as well with kind of very bold actions also when we're talking about career. And in some cases this card could warn you that you may become a victim of a fraudulent schemes and of unethical practices as well. So you have to be very vigilant with whom you side with when you are kind of like initiating a new activity or a new project throughout the month. And that may not be even, you know, some with such of a illegal impact. It could be that you may believe into someone and side with that person to be a partner of yours into a certain project, further down the road understanding that this person is not what that person claims to be. So we come to the Nine of Swords, which sits into a positive position here, and this card positively speaks that you will have a full realization of what it is required, what it is going to take for you to push through that specific new enterprise you will establish in front of yourself. Because you will establish a new enterprise, you know, a new activity, private or not private, that doesn't matter really. It's all about a growth. It's all about pressing forward with the career and improving oneself. And by the look of these cards here, it does look like that throughout this month it is a matter of you finding the right approach how you should do that. And the Nine of Swords is making you to do so exactly that, because this card will allow you as something that will help you to truly understand the impact of your actions, of your work, of the actions of others as well upon your career development further down the road. And you are going to understand, you know, what is going to take from you to accomplish the deed that you have set for your distant future. Also, this card rather points at kind of like a hyper defensive position, which further is going to contribute here being guarded from fraudulent schemes, you know, and false testimonials, should I say that way. Therefore, it doesn't look like that this person, if this person isn't a professional liar that you may kind of side with, then they won't be exactly able, you know, to convince you entirely that they are capable of doing what they are claiming to. So the Nine of Swords here give you a good sense of mistrust. This is something that will help you throughout this month. A healthy sense of mistrust, putting under question and under consideration every single claim that someone foreign to your activity is making towards you, and it is exactly what you need to do. This is what is going to help you, so you have to lean more toward that direction. And at the end, we do have here the Magician card, which is the culmination of all that, while you kind of separated the reality from non-reality, you know, from the you know, the real incorporation of a foreign means and foreign agendas into your project, and separating that from the false ones, understanding what is going to take from you to push on these new responsibilities while you are finalizing and completing the current tasks that you are doing here. The Magician card points that you will be able to negotiate a very good contract for yourself should you go for. The Magician is also pointing that you will be able to kind of attract positive followers who will be able to help you further down the road behind your back. And also that card speaks that you will look into the foreign's eyes, into those whom you are dependent on, with a great amount of sovereignty, iron will, a lot of determination behind your actions. And also this card may signify that some of you Aries will require an additional qualification, which will be no problem to be obtained whatsoever should you have the determination to do so. The very least here, the Magician points that the very first successful initial step toward the new undertaking has been made around the end of the month, and they were, as I said, successful and a solid foundation for you to move on forward. So that was kind of that was the Aries' career, and let's see what the Aries' relationship has to say for the months here. Now the first card that we do have, this is going to be the Empress. The next one, that will be the Death card. Then we do have the King of Swords, and afterwards that is going to be the Queen of Wands. So Aries is this month is going to be rather favorable for your relationship stereotype here. We do have the Empress as a topic of the month, which does speaks for a vast amount of comfort and also detachment from the peripheral of the relationship. What I mean here is that the relationship itself will become secluded, like in a bubble, alright? And no exterior influence for some reason will be able to impact it in such a way that the relationship could bend could bend beneath the pressure of that exterior influence. So literally, let me give you an example here. Literally, if someone from the family of your partner doesn't like you and they encourage your partner to leave you, throughout this month this particular influence will have no impact upon your relationship whatsoever. The Death card, however, oh, and one more thing I almost forgot here is that this month is going to be rather very favorable for the relationship itself, for you that you are leading, for taking a major decisions how the relationship should consolidate even further. The Death card into a negative position points that you should not aim to change anything that it is around you right now. I mean, the relationship could be entirely functional the way it is, and as I said, decisions may be something that needs to be yet decided if the relationship isn't going very well and it's kind of distorted, you know. Maybe just exactly needs to be well decided in between you both partners, which is going to, you know, set the relationship back on track, and it will allow you to start feeling more comfort in it. What is the point here is, by these couple of cards, is that as it's presented state, what the relationship is. It can be very abandoning relationship, and you need to kind of try to work it out as exactly as it is. And the King of Swords into a positive position, this is the things that you can go for. The King of Swords is a highly kind of physical card. It is not an emotional one. So that makes me think, I'm not saying that this is you, you know, this is a general relationship reading for Aries star sign, but that card here points that being more and more sexual throughout this month is gonna help you tremendously to get closer to your partner, you know, to succumb them to your will if you have to as well, to make them, you know, be on your side, being on the same page with you, etc, etc. It's just, this is what the King of Swords does. I mean, when we talk about relationship, the King of Swords, it's more about the physical interaction in it rather than the emotional, because many people fall in love through sex. I mean, that is kind of normal in our society. So if you feel that the emotions in between you and your partner are kind of getting colder and colder, maybe this is because there is an absence of physical interaction. And we're not talking just about sex, you know, kind of like holding your hands, kissing, or spending even time together, etc, etc. That will help you tremendously to restore the comfort into one relationship. And throughout that comfort, by the way, the behavior that the two people interact with one another will become even more and more mature, so there won't be those kind of like pointless outbursts from one of the sides for something very small that the other did. And at the end we do have the Queen of Wands, which card points that the relationship will reach height in which both people are going to enjoy life as life is, because the Queen of Wands has a extreme knack of how to make life pleasant. And this is what you're going to achieve at the end. The relationship will become more and more pleasant to either one of you. And this card also is associated with a good knowledge of the human nature. Therefore, for what it seems, the more physical connection you do have with your partner, the more you will start understanding their needs, and that will become vice versa. So there will be more harmony exerted into the relationship. And few words to say for those who are single here. For what it seems, you should not change that for whatsoever, because your life of singularity has a more to offer to you. I mean, these cards, again, I'm not psychic, I just speaks clearly for what the card does, for what the card says. And what the cards are saying is that you can kind of establish even more comfortable environment in the way you are single. And what will help you to do so, unfortunately, that is, I'm saying unfortunately because many people with you think that this is something very wrong, but the cards are saying that friends with benefits will be something very productive for you. So pretty much that was for Aries' extended monthly tarot reading. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you liked it, and I hope we're going to see each other again. Until then, bye.